Hey, Glenn Sharkey here. Welcome to another episode of How to Stay Motivated at Home. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the game of croquet. It's played with 4 balls, 2 are on the same team and 2 are in the opposition. And I want to have a quick look today at behavioural styles, 4 different types of behavioural styles, because when working from home, the effects and the impacts of the strengths and the challenges of those behavioural styles are amplified. Welcome to video 5 in the series on how to motivate people, and today I want to look at the 4 behavioural styles which may be coming into play and impacting relationships and therefore impacting motivation at home. I want to look at a 4-quadrant model which kicks off by looking at whether people are introverted or extroverted, and then whether or not they are goal-oriented or people-oriented. The first in this lineup are the Reds. They are the extroverted, goal-oriented people, and so they're finding it difficult to be at home at the moment. If I was to show you an image that represented the Reds, it would probably be this one here. Oops, that's not quite, that's the one I'm after. The Reds are very much like the fire engine, full on, all noise, and you may be finding it quite frustrating being at home at the moment. What are the strengths and challenges of the Reds? Well, the Reds have strong opinions. They're the natural leaders, and let me tell you, Reds, that you may be a leader in the workplace, you may be a business owner, a CEO, a team leader, but your family don't want or even need a leader at this time. So be really careful of that. Reds have strong opinions. They're the natural leaders. Their challenge is considering others. Actually, the Reds already are disagreeing with me. They don't think they have strong opinions. They just simply call them facts. They're not opinions at all. In fact, the Reds disagree with my 4-quadrant model. They only recognize a 2-quadrant model: red and wrong. So next up on the list are the Yellows. They're the talkers, and they're struggling at the moment because they're missing out on that social contact that they normally get, and they may even be starting to drive their family crazy with wanting to talk so much. These are they're not just the extroverts, but they are the people-oriented extroverts. If I was to show you a picture that represented the Yellows, it would probably be, oops, oh, wrong picture again, that one there. A lot of noise, but not necessarily the same focus and drive as the Reds. So what are the strengths and challenges of the Yellows? Well, the Yellows are energetic, particularly around people, and that's why they may be struggling at the moment, because they have a limited pool of people to get their energy from. They're great in terms of time management, and their challenges are staying focused. Actually, that's not true at all. They struggle with time management because they can be so easily distracted. They love variety, and if you're a Yellow, then you need to put in boundaries and routine because you are so easily distracted by bright, shiny objects. The next on the list would be the Greens. They are the carers. They are the best listeners. If I was to sum them up with a picture, it would probably be this one here. Oh, oops, something's gone wrong again. That's a better colour. And some of the Reds are thinking, oh, fantastic, a bus, something to throw people under. No, that's not what the bus is for at all, Reds. It's a great picture to sum up the Greens because they really want to get everyone on board, and that's not necessarily possible at this time. Let's have a look at their strengths and weaknesses. Their strengths are their EQ and their ability to listen. Their challenge is speaking up, defending themselves, and especially saying no. If you're a Green at this time, then you may struggle with the needs, particularly of your family, of your partner, and you may not look after your own needs and the needs of the business that you're part of. You find it really difficult to say yes to everything and no to anything. So your challenge at this time is to create boundaries that mean that you look after your family, but you also look after work productivity. And lastly, we have the Blues. If I was to sum up the Blues with a picture, it would probably be, oops, wrong again. I don't know what's going wrong. Here we go. Here's a better picture. I've had some Blues complain about this before, and I want to apologize for this picture because, yes, it is a 2-seater electric vehicle, and some of the Blues are thinking, no, it only needs to be a 1-seater 2 seats is actually a bit of a waste. So what are the strengths and the challenges of the blues, or the thinkers as we call them? You're highly methodical, you've got a fantastic attention to detail. In fact, I hear blues now referring to attention to detail, OCD, rather calling it ATD rather than OCD. A nice little change there, very politically correct. What are their challenges? Being more social and upbeat, and you as a blue, you may be actually enjoying this time, this lack of distraction, to actually get on with your work, particularly project work that you can really bury your head into. And the challenge for you is maybe staying connected with your team, because at some point you're going to get back with them, and it's ideal to maintain relationship during this time. Lastly, I want to talk about the challenge, for instance, of working with our opposites. So this is the biggest challenge both at home and in the workplace. The reds tend to struggle with the greens, and the yellows tend to struggle with the blues. At this time, the yellows are thinking, why did you just send me an email? Why don't you pick up the phone and have a chat to me? The blues, on the other hand, are thinking, there's that caller ID from a yellow in the team again. They're going to have nothing to talk about, and even if they do, why don't they just put it into an email and send it to me? Can you see how opposites can clash, both at home and in the workplace? So I want to ask everyone at the moment to be a little bit more tolerant, particularly if you live with an opposite. If you have a son or a daughter there's an opposite to your color, then just be a little bit more patient, a little bit more gracious, a little bit kinder at this time. If you're an employer, be cognizant of your team's communication needs, because the needs of a blue are going to be different to the needs of a yellow. Hey, I hope you like these videos. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on notifications. That way you'll get notified of every time there's a new video being uploaded in the series of how to stay motivated at home.